Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Financial Juneteenth, and I wanted to stop for a second to kind of put on my finance professor hat for a second. And if you notice, if I was to put on the hat, it would not have a Yankees symbol on it. It wouldn't have an LA King symbol on it. It wouldn't have a Dallas Cowboys symbol on it. It wouldn't have Skittles on it. It wouldn't have some big corporation on it. It would probably say Your Black World, Boyce Watkins, or it would represent something that I want to support. And I'm being silly when I say this, but I want to make this very quick point. And sometimes I can be pretty direct and pretty harsh about things that I say. And in this case, that's not what you're going to get. You're really going to get something that is designed to be more of a thought exercise or thought experiment for people who care enough to think this through. Part of one of the things I've been pushing consistently is the idea of what I call the new paradigm of thought. The new paradigm centers around four concepts as wealth, education, family, and community. The new paradigm is built around the very simple idea that in order to solve 21st century problems, we must come up with 21st century solutions. The way that we did things in the past is not going to work. If we keep doing what everybody else is doing, we're going to get what everybody else has been getting. And by everybody else, I'm talking about our predecessors up until this point. So one area where I want to encourage you to really think outside the box a little bit is when you think about entertainment and you think about how many rappers. I noticed this. I couldn't help but observe this. I was watching this really great documentary by Ice-T called The Art of Rap, which I really like it. It's really good because he goes to the core and the root of hip hop, goes right to the South Bronx, right to Queens, right to Brooklyn, and really talks to the artists that were there at the very beginning, from Dougie Fresh to Rakim. He even brings in some more new school guys like Immortal Technique, but also couches that in the old school conversation with Nas and all these just legendary hip hop figures. And here's one thing I noticed. I looked at Nas, I looked at 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Rakim, and I said, why do all these guys wear these Yankees hats? That's just kind of a New York trademark. Like what kind of style of Yankees hat can you get to kind of represent yourself? And I understand that when you wear a Yankees cap and you're from New York, you feel like you're expressing yourself. You feel like you're representing yourself when really you're actually representing the Yankees. You're not taking care of yourself or giving your children money that's going to put them through college. You're not passing anything on to them when you put on a Yankees cap, but you are putting one of the Yankees executives' kids through college with the fact that you're representing their logo, putting it in front of tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people. Ice Cube did a great documentary on 30 for 30 where he talked about how when gangster rap emerged and they started wearing Raiders gear. You remember that, the black and silver, and how Raiders merchandising went through the roof. The Raiders were more than happy to give them some free stuff. And you remember Ice Cube's famous line, "I stopped giving juice to the Raiders because Al Davis never paid us." And the fact is that that's one thing you have to give Ice Cube credit for, is that Ice Cube always took the time to try to understand not how much money he was getting, but how much money everybody was getting, right? There's just that famous story he always tells about how he sat down at that table and all the guys from NWA had checks for maybe $80,000 or $100,000 or some amount of money they'd never seen before, and everybody signed for that check or signed that contract except for Ice Cube, because Ice Cube saw the bigger picture, saw the bigger vision. So what I encourage brothers to really try to do is to understand the bigger vision, understand there's a bigger picture, understand that when every time you put on a European brand, somebody's making money. There is a cash register going off. There's a cha-ching, and in many cases that money's not coming to our community. It's going somewhere else. So you get the style, you get the fashion, you get the street cred. They're making all the money, and they're in a way, to some extent, they're kind of laughing at you in the process. That's why I love telling that story about liquid money. Where they say that money for black people is like liquid going through your hands. You get it and it's gone. Well, a lot of people see black people as a source of revenue. It's been true going all the way back to slavery. I mean, when they saw slaves, they saw cha-chings, they saw money. When they see prison, they see money. When they see cheap labor, they see money. When they see a rapper who needs to wear a certain European brand in order to build his own self-esteem, they see money. So what I encourage you to do is really think about that. Every time you put on a logo, a symbol, or anybody else's stuff, you know, make sure you're getting a piece of that. And in fact, I would even say to New York rappers, let's move to the next generation. Let's stop wearing those Yankees caps until the Yankees start cutting a check. If the Yankees ain't cutting a check, then don't you put on that damn hat. Don't you wear their gear. Don't you represent the Yankees unless the Yankees are cutting you a check. And that's really a shout out that I'm giving to all my friends who are in New York hip hop. I know a lot of rappers and guys that I love and respect. I have so much respect, for example, for LL Cool J because of how he's managed his career. And that's one thing I say. I know everybody does it. I know that's what everybody's doing or whatever. But I say it's time for a change. We can't wear Yankees hats forever. So maybe now it's time for us to wear something different. So that's the only thing I want to say is let's start looking at the big picture. Let's start understanding business models. Understand that whenever there's an audience for a product, there is always money being made. Try to understand where that money's coming from, how that trickle occurs, and also understand why when the trickle occurs, it doesn't always trickle down to your people. And that's something we got to change if we want our community to prosper. Because a lot of people say black people can't create jobs, and I think that's not true. Actually, black people create lots of jobs for white people. So let's stop creating jobs for other people and start creating jobs for us. I think that's a simple concept of survival. It's a simple concept of self-respect. If anybody gets mad at you for respecting and loving and caring about your own community, then you should tell those people to go to hell because they clearly don't have your best interests at heart. Well, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from FinancialJuneteenth.com, and until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. I am gone. Peace.